This video is brought to you by...
You already know what it is. Cool Green Clothing. We done gone worldwide, and we coming straight out of Baltimore. And if you in town, pull up on us at 215 West Saratoga Street. And if you not in town, go online right now at coolgreenclothing.com and make your purchase. Oh yeah, and by the way, if you ain't cool and getting the green, you're in the way. And that's just basic.
What's going on, YouTube fam? It's your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of the Baltimore Way, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. It's free. It helps get the video out there. Definitely watch this video to the end so you can hear the full story and all the details in the case. For my day one fam, y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Oh yeah, feel free to share the channel with your people. Everybody is welcome. With that being said, let's get right into the story. One thing that a lot of people take for granted every day, especially if it's never been taken from you, is your freedom. Being able to wake up, go to your refrigerator, leave your house, get some fresh air, and just do whatever you want to. For us that had to run to that chow hall before for feed up because your stomach is touching your back, commissary low, and eat slop just to get full, or have to wait for them doors to pop to go to yard just to get some fresh air, you look over them barbed wire fences and daydream about what you would be doing if you was free or had another chance out there. And you should know, freedom is one of the most precious things out here, and it should not be taken for granted. That's why we have to always think twice before we react, because once that is stripped from you, it's hard to get it back. If you have ever sat in a cell looking at your guidelines, facing serious charges, weighing out the best case scenarios or worst case, then you know how stressful that can be. At that point, you have no control over your own life. That mistake you made now will have you fighting to see the streets again. Then you go to court, heart beating, nervous, manners on 10, hoping the judge will see you more than just an inmate. For some, it's all bad. You see that gavel bang, hear that guilty verdict, then your sentence is handed down. Your life flashes before you. Everything you could have been doing right. But now you gotta sit in a cell for years and think about it. But some get a second chance, a not guilty verdict, acquitted. Probably the best words you can hear in that situation. But just because the courts say not guilty, the streets play by their own set of rules. And their courtroom has a different outcome. And on this episode of the Baltimore Way, we'll be discussing the case of a man who beat his case but was ambushed the day of his co-defendant's trial. At the end of 2025, 26-year-old Daquan Parker, nicknamed Benny by family and friends, was navigating life in Baltimore. The young man was fighting hard to stay focused, low-key, and out the way. Daquan knew how quick a situation could escalate and things could go left. His freedom was taken from him in a blink of an eye. Just months prior, when an incident took place in the Park Heights area of the city. On March 9th, 2024, in the 3000 block of Spalding Avenue, a young man named Rashid Lindsay got into an altercation that unfortunately cost him his life. Allegedly, he got in a dispute with his girlfriend's baby father, and shots went off. Witnesses pointed to the shooters as a man named Gerald McEachran, who was speculated to be Rashid's girl's baby father, and Daquan. Both were taken into custody, charged with first-degree hit and handgun violations. As the case started making its way to trial, Daquan would get some news most in his situation could only dream about. Witnesses were recanting their statements, evidence was scarce, and the case was falling apart. He would eventually be acquitted of the more serious charges and was soon back uptown a free man. We all know the streets talk, and if your name is mentioned in something like a homicide, even if you are innocent, you gotta understand emotions are high, especially coming from loved ones of the victim. And they have people that love them, and they don't want nobody accused of taking their loved one's life just bopping around free. But in the court of law, the Daquan was not guilty, but his co-defendant Gerald was still fighting and set to go to trial. As time went by, Daquan kept his head on a swivel. He wasn't worried about no revenge or retaliation, as all he cared about was his freedom and staying in the streets. It's not clear if him and his co-defendant Gerald stayed in contact or how he felt about the case, but he knew there was a possibility if Daquan beat it, he would as well. On December 9th, 2025, Daquan was out sliding through the city, enjoying the night. As he headed down by the casino, not long after, BPD got a call in the late night, early morning hours, now December 10th, of shots fired. At first, they were reported at the casino, but when they got another call from across the street at the Royal Farms of a victim who was suffering from multiple gunshot wounds, they responded. When they hit the scene, the man was identified as Daquan, and unfortunately, he would pass away from his injuries. It was multiple shell casings, and the shooting seemed like an ambush. Another man was also shot as well. It seemed Daquan never even saw it coming. As police got more information on the young man, court records came out. Sean, he had just been acquitted on a serious case. And not just that, his co-defendant's trial was set for that same day as the shooting, December 10th. As the news made its way to the courthouse, the judge and prosecutors came to a conclusion. It would be best to postpone Gerald's trial while police did an investigation. They were trying to see was the ambush on Daquan in any way connected to the up-and-coming court date, but they had no witnesses or suspects. People spoke out about crime in the city. One lady who worked at that same Royal Farms for years said they can't keep a manager because of all the crime and shootings in the area. In her words, it's Baltimore City. I'm not surprised. As people showed love to Daquan on social media, the streets had started making claims that it was get back or retaliation trying to send a message. But that was all talk. As time went by, nobody came forward with information, and the case seemed to slowly go cold. A reward was offered for any information, but as of now, the case is still open. Since then, Gerald has went back to court, pleaded not guilty on all charges. Eventually, the state didn't have enough evidence to convict, and he too was acquitted on the first-degree hit charges, but found guilty and convicted on a gun charge. Rest in peace to Rashid and Daquan. I send my prayers and condolences to their families. There's only 3 people who know exactly what happened on that day in March 2024, and 2 are gone. It's always unfortunate to see young men lose their lives before they even get to live. The cold part about the streets is if your name comes up in something and a few people say it's true and they run with it, even if you were not the one who did it, you can be guilty by association. Or some people want to hold court in the streets if they feel like you beat the system. And that's what a lot of people felt about this case. But I won't speculate. Instead, I'm going to leave this one open to y'all, fam. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts on the situation in the comments. Yeah, man, crazy story. Rest in peace, both them young men. But I ain't going to talk too much more about this one. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. Y'all already know it's all love, fam. This is another episode of the Baltimore Way. It's your boy Tony 2 times. I'm out.